Here is the answer to last video's challenge question. At the end of last video, I gave you this challenge question where I asked you how many different checkmates there were. Now, the answer to this challenge question is 15. I will show all of them in a minute. Queen h1 checkmate, queen g1 checkmate, queen to b2 checkmate, queen to a1 checkmate. All of these knights, as long as they check, it will be a checkmate. And it turns out that there are actually 11 different knight checkmates. So if you count them all up, 11 plus 4 is obviously 15. Now, today we will be discussing one particular square. What is that square? F7. Now, in case you didn't know, F7 at the start of the game is only defended by the king, which means that it would be super vulnerable. Now, I will be showing you 3 positions of how you can use F7 to your advantage. And even though when you castle, it may seem like you have more than one defender, it might not necessarily matter. Now, I'm sure this has happened to all of us somewhere in our chess life. You've probably been checkmated by the 4-move checkmate before. Now, it goes e4, e5, and then straight up bishop c4. Now, if black doesn't know this, he might just play some regular move like knight to c6. Then, white plays queen to h5, which is setting up the 4-move checkmate. Now, if black's not careful and plays some random move like d6, then we see the queen coming to f7, checkmate. This is because the bishop is defending. Now, you might have obviously seen that only the king was defending f7, which means that it would be very easy to target. Now, this is true, and it has led to many famous positions. I will be showing you one that has been in many tactic chess books. Chess books about tactics. You'll probably see this position somewhere in your life, because this position is very, very popular and is very well known. It appears in most books about f7 pawn. Now, have a look at this knight. Do you notice anything about it? Well, obviously, the bishop is pinning our knight to the queen, which means that it wouldn't be a good idea to move it, right? Well, no, because there is one stunning move that moves this knight that will actually work. And it has to do with targeting the f7 pawn. Can you find it? Now, when I said target the f7 pawn, you know there was only 2 possible moves. Knight to g5 or knight takes e5. Knight to g5 wouldn't work because the queen would just take. And we'll just be losing a free knight. Notice our queen can't take the bishop now because the queen would be defending. So what about knight takes e5? Well, obviously black can't take our knight or else we just take a position. But what if he takes our queen on d1? Now, you may have noticed f7. We are double attacking it. Which piece should we take it with? Well, we probably shouldn't take it with knight, because we're already down basically a full queen. And winning the rook wouldn't really make up for it. So what if we take with a bishop? Then the king is forced to e7. Now, there is actually a checkmate. And it is knight to d5, checkmate. Knight to d5 checks the black king and controls f6. This checkmate is called Legault's mate. You'll probably see this somewhere in your life. Now I will be giving you a position where the legendary Bobby Fischer uses the f7 pawn to his advantage, even when black is castled. In this position, Bobby Fischer is playing Sami Reshevsky, and Reshevsky has just played knight to a5. Now, have a look at the f7 pawn. Right now, isn't it guarded by the rook and the king? And only our bishop is attacking it. How can we possibly make something happen? Well, it starts off with e5, forcing the knight to do something. Now, computer engines have proved that knight takes b3 is the best move. It removes the bishop so that no tactics on f7 could ever happen. But Reshevsky didn't see this, and instead played knight to e8. Now, obviously, no other knight move with this knight would work, as if you went to h5, g4 would trap it. So, after knight e8, Fischer played the stunning bishop takes f7 check. Now, whatever black takes with white will play the same move. If black plays rook takes, then can you find an amazing move? Knight to e6 is a is a trap of the black king. The queen, sorry. The queen can't go here because the knight is guarding it, and the queen can't go here because the bishop is here. Now, if he takes, you will notice that our queen on d1 can just take him. So, what if black took with the king? Well, then the same thing would happen. Knight to e6 once again. Obviously, black is still trapped, and probably only king to e6 would save the queen. But by saving the queen, black would lose his king. After queen to d5 check and king f5, g4, king takes, rook to g1 check, king to h4, bishop to g5, king h5, queen d1, and rook f3, queen takes s3 will be a checkmate. So, the f7 pawn is very weak, and it can always be a target, even when black is castled. Now I will be giving you the end of video challenge question, which as always will be resolved in the next video. Here is the end of video challenge question. This is yet another game from Bobby Fischer. Can you find a sacrifice in quotation marks should I say, that Bobby Fischer did to convince his opponent to resign on just the 10th move? That's it for today, and thank you for your time. If you enjoyed the content, please consider to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.